Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is about overcoming the trauma bond after a narcissistic relationship. People often stay way longer than they ever should have in an abusive relationship, myself included. It took me several attempts and a few years to get out. Then once out, all hell broke loose as they came at me with one mind game after another. Due to the trauma bond, it is hard for those in these relationships to break free and hard to stay free. However, plenty of people have, so it is more than possible. If you haven't broken free yet, or if you are breaking free and trying to recover from the trauma bond, remember you can and you will. You found the coping mechanisms to survive the relationship, you will find them to survive the recovery. When you are not getting punched in the face, it's hard to see you're in an abusive relationship. Even when there is physical violence, it's usually twisted around onto how it's your fault or how you've reacted in some way. So you're left with all the self-doubts, self-blame, guilt, believing you're the one at fault. Some people might just ask you, why didn't you leave sooner? Or remark, I'd never put up with that. When they have not lived it, they don't understand it. The power of the trauma bond and the emotional pull to the person who's actually causing you emotional, physical, psychological and financial pain, it's hard to break free, as well as the fear and the guilt. Those who've never been in an abusive relationship struggle to understand why people stay in one. Survivors often also struggle to explain why and what truly happened to them, when what people should be asking is why people go around abusing other people. When survivors connect with each other, it helps give survivors of domestic violence more understanding. You are far from alone in this. Very few get out and stay out on their first attempt. It takes time to piece reality back together after all the gaslighting. It's a learning curve, and it is more than possible to break free and stay free. It takes an average of 7 attempts to break free from a toxic relationship. So with some, they might get out on the first. With others, it might be the 10th, 11th or more. How you feel is normal. Most of us have been conditioned from news and films that abusive relationships are always really physical, and although this does happen, it's not always the case. Psychological abuse is harder to see. It's drip-fed over a period of time, and it's an insidious form of mental torture where we are conditioned not to recognise our reality and to work harder to please the narcissist. Narcissistic people break your heart, they break your spirit, they break your friendships, your physical health, your mental health, your financial health and more. It takes time to recover and break free. Living with a narcissist is like living in a war zone, never knowing when the bomb will go off next and not knowing what you did to set it off. You're running around a minefield, walking on eggshells, trying not to set them off, dodging bullets when you do. Narcissistic people have a great talent of love bombing and playing nice with their odd, cleverly formed underhand compliments here and there, where they come at you with backhanded compliments of, your hair looks better like that than it did yesterday, or they come at you with words such as, are you really going to wear that? If only you do this. Partners have often brushed these comments to one side, not realising the actual reality of what's happening to them. Partners are made to believe that the real person is the one who plays nice, and the not so nice person is when the real person has stepped out of character, and it's something they did to cause them to step out of character, not realising that that person who stepped out of character is who they are. The person who's nice is when they are manipulating to influence you into create an identity within that person that they are a genuine person, when it's all manipulation. A psychological, manipulative, abusive relationship is extremely addictive. It causes trauma bonding and you're riding out the roller coaster of your life that just doesn't seem to stop long enough for you to get out. With the punishment of the narcissist, silent treatment and their projection and blame shifting, then their intermittent reinforcement when they play nice again, as we've done something that pleased them and not been true to ourselves. Our mind and body go through so much turmoil. It releases high levels of stress hormone, cortisol, when they're gaslighting us and giving us the silent treatment, then high levels of dopamine when they reward us with affection for behaving how they want. This hormonal roller coaster takes a toll on our mind and bodies, most often because people in these relationships end up plagued with illness after illness if they develop autoimmune problems. When our minds and bodies have been under constant stress, we stay in these relationships despite the pressure on our own mental and physical health due to not having our own clarity on reality and seeing what is truly happening to us through the gaslighting, control, projection, and blame shifting. The desperation of trying to win back the abusive partner. We get that intermittent relief of love for a time, reinforcing that we were the ones to blame. You were never to blame. You're a genuine person who loves and wants to help. There is nothing wrong with that. When you're questioning yourself, you need to ask yourself, what did they truly do in the right way for you? And what did you do for them? Most people often realise the abuser did very little to them other than hurt them and let them down, and you did all you could to love, help and take care of them. Narcissists, sociopaths and psychopaths tend to follow the same relationship patterns of idolisation, devalue, discard, and some will also follow with the hoover to suck you back in. Signs you're trauma bonded. Your partner always promises things and rarely delivers. You feel stuck in the relationship and cannot see a way out. You keep having the same fights and the same problems. There's never any solutions. Compromise is never met. It's always their way or you get punished. If you don't do something for them or you do something wrong in their eyes, you get punished with the silent treatments and other manipulative games. You don't trust them or even like them, yet you still care for them. If you do manage to get out, or if they discard you, you believe you still love them and are desperate to get them back. You feel sorry for them, you can relate to their feelings and want to help them out. Making up excuses for their behaviour and treatment towards you. Not going against them for fear of reactions, standing up for them when others criticise them. You still want to help them and heal them from the pain they have caused, not realising how much pain they're causing you. Unfortunately, some don't try to leave, often through fear. Those who do often return. The narcissist might break you so much that you are physically, emotionally and financially drained. And then they just discard you for someone new. Once they're gone or you do break free, you can begin to grieve the person who never indeed existed, what you've been through, piece it back together with your reality, start to see it wasn't your fault and begin to heal. You were not chosen because you were weak. They chose you because they wanted something from you, because they were envious of something within you. Ways to recover: grieve, write it all out and let it all out. Work through your emotions. Give yourself a limit, a day, a week, a month. Especially if you're struggling to get yourself out of bed, that's when you want a limit of a few days. You're allowed to wallow. You've been through a lot. You're allowed to grieve. You've been through a lot. You're allowed to be angry. You've been through a lot. You're allowed to feel whatever you feel. Just find a way. If it's negative emotions, just find a way not to stay there too long. Write them all out. Write the narcissist a letter explaining how they made you feel, then destroy the letter. Let it all out. Work through any guilt, your pride, your own ego. Open up to yourself and be honest with your own feelings. Connect with your emotions, recognizing that emotions are feelings. And saying to yourself, my mind controls my feelings and I control my mind. What is the emotion I'm feeling? Acknowledge that it's here to tell you something. Remember a time you felt a similar thing and overcame it, so your mind knows you'll do it again. Don't bottle up your emotions. Take action to work through them. What is this telling me? What do I need to change? And then action that change. Pattern interrupt. When When the narcissist pops into your mind without you even asking them to, kick them straight back out. Focus on what you're doing at the moment and call a friend, watch something funny, acknowledge you want to think about them at the start, and then tell yourself you're not going to. You no longer have time for them living rent-free in your mind. You only have time to think of creating a new life and start thinking of those dreams until you've reprogrammed your subconscious with your conscious thinking ability, and they will appear in your mind less and less. If you want to check their social media, remind yourself this only hurts you more. Acknowledge you want to, tell yourself you're not going to, and then go and find something that will distract you. Remove any reminders of them. If you have communication because you have children, set up a different email address or a second number so you don't have to look unless you need to. Respond, don't react, and save all communication in case you need it as evidence further down the line. Any reminders you can remove, then remove. Places you've visited, try to focus on the times you visited without them to start, then focus on when you will visit in that present moment. If you're in the same home you live together, look for moving or start decorating. Keep busy and changes will happen. If you're in a refuge, focus on new beginnings, you creating for you. Others have done this and you can do it too. Learn your triggers for the emotional upset, for anxiety, so you can learn coping strategies before they get a hold of you. When you feel them starting to take over you, keep telling yourself, I am safe now. Focus on good, positive things. Focus on your future that you're building for yourself. Start creating and living in your own reality again. Start writing out all the bad things of the relationship whenever you start dreaming of what could have been or thinking they're not that bad. Then look at the notes of what they did to you and how much they hurt you. Also write yourself a letter of where you'd like to be from 1 year from now, creating new visions and new dreams for you, and then start taking those simple steps to achieve, creating new goals for your future. Make one big choice at a time and take action on it. Once achieved, recognise the achievement. Be proud of yourself. Small achievements, if you're struggling with day-to-day things. Small achievements like housework. Set a timer on your phone for 10 minutes and then just do the quick wins. Wiping the kitchen side, putting the washing on. Focus on one task at hand. Don't let your mind drift off into the past. Put some music on or a motivational video while you do it. Then do 15 to 20 minutes and keep going until you set up new routines for your own day-to-day living standards, for how you want to live your life. Often it's not procrastination that stops us. It's getting going that stops us. If we just tell ourselves we're going to do 5 minutes, we often find ourselves doing 10, 15, 20. Make a choice that supports your self-care. Choose to put yourself first, taking care of your own needs first, so that you can be at your personal best for others. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to go for it. You're allowed to do what works for you. You're allowed 2 steps forwards, 1 step back. You're allowed down moments. You're allowed to scream, shout, cry. You need to refocus on what future you're trying to achieve for you and then progress. You've made it so far. Keep going. Get addicted to something healthy that you love doing for yourself. Starting new courses, looking for a new job, creating a new career, starting new hobbies for you, going back to old hobbies that you really enjoyed doing that the narcissist stopped you from doing. Learning, reading, connecting with others, especially those who've lived it and understand it. Volunteer somewhere. Whatever you want to do now, make it a positive contribution for you and others. Find things that fill you up positively. Love and connection. Learn to love who you are and connect with your true inner self. Then find genuine, positive people to connect with. Growth, forming a new happy life for you. Trying new things to see who you are and what you genuinely enjoy doing. Learning new things every day. Certainty. Certainty, creating new routines and habits for you. Uncertainty, trying new things, trying new hobbies, trying new sports, things that you'll enjoy. Significance, be kind to yourself first, being kind to others, having a job or a hobby you love, volunteering, contribution to yourself, first raising yourself back up and then giving back to others. Anything you do through action or emotion and you hit at least 3 of these human needs, you become addicted to them. Tony Robbins explains a lot more about human needs, and these are great for recovery. Make choices now that put your own needs first. Say no to things you haven't got time for or that you don't want to do, that go against your values and beliefs. Any setbacks, remind yourself just how far you've come and the direction you're heading in now. Find the funny side. A sense of humour is vital to get away from all the negativity and turn it into some form of positivity. Create and write down a list of your new beliefs, values and standards. Start simple and keep adding the behaviour you'll accept and not accept from within yourself, and the behaviour you'll accept and not accept from those around you, and create those boundaries around those values and beliefs. Take action on your new life. Focus on the original dream and new goals for you. Don't overload. Baby steps each and every day, acknowledging your achievements along the way. Connect and surround yourself with good, quality, genuine people. It rubs off on you. People who compromise, people who help each other out, people who are willing to listen, understand, people who are happy for you when you are happy. I shall add in the video description the video on handling emotional pain, because often it is the emotional pain that is the thing that we need to break free from. Remember, you are enough. You found the coping mechanisms to survive the relationship. You will find them to survive the trauma bond and survive recovery and thrive afterwards. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.